Yes, I love Carol Burnett. And I mean love. I would die if someone gave me the whole set because, God, I love Carol Burnett.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Fandomly Speaking,
where each week we speak randomly about fandoms. I'm Liza.
And I'm Melissa, and this week we're getting very random about our childhood favorites on television.
Yay! TV shows. I watched so much TV as a kid, so there was a lot. I kept it to like from 0 to 12. Like,
yeah, that's what I tried to
cut it off
do.
around 12 years old.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So, I don't think, right, there's not going to be spoilers, right?
I mean, if there's spoilers for these old shows, you guys have had a long time to watch this stuff.
Really? No one to blame but yourself.
Right.
And the other warning is that we are two Gen X autistic women, and we just go all over the place. So just flow with us. Don't try to make sense of it. Just flow.
Go where we go. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So what'd you do this week in geeking?
I feel like I had a lot of stuff I did because we went from where I was a geek free, I'm not doing anything. So now I had a whole bunch of stuff I'm doing. So I finished the T. Kingfisher Paladin series. I reread all 7 books. I was so excited to finish those. And then the House Witch series came out with a new book, and I get so giddy when those come out. They're just my favorite. So I'm reading the new House Witch book by Dellum Hack, and I finished this masterpiece.
Oh my gosh. How was it?
Garbage. It was absolute trash. It was so fun. Fun garbage. Fun trash. I mean, yeah, I kept like taking pictures of passages and sending them to my friend that I used to read them with in high school. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? And there's like a line in here when they kiss for the first time. She's like, and he tasted like his steak, his rare steak that he ate. I'm like, ew, what? Dude.
Wow. That's worse than she tasted like strawberries.
It was bad. Well, I mean, that was at least probably honest.
It probably was.
So it's garbage, but it was like, this was the fun. I guess our grandmothers were reading Bodice Rippers and we were reading this trash,
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah, well, like Harlequin romances, they were real big.
Yeah.
They were real big there for a while. Yeah.
So it was fun to read.
Cool.
That's what I did.
Cool. That's good. That's a good geeking week. What did I do this week? It's hard to remember, but so I finished reading the Sookie books, You did
finally finish because you said you were going to take a break.
I did take a break because I got to the book where Eric just breaks Sookie's heart.
Yeah, you said you were going to take a break.
What's interesting is this time around, I went back to it when I was in a better state of mind. And I actually kind of see where Eric was coming from this time around. And I think I think he made the best decision for both of them. It just sucked that it wasn't her decision, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then Nashville is on Netflix now. And that is just Connie Britton was kind of the star in that, and Hayden, as my husband calls her, Hayden Planetarium. Hayden Planetarium. I don't even know how to say her name. And it's a music about, country music. It's a show about country music stars.
Wait, where did that come on first?
It was on Channel 7. It was on ABC.
Yeah, okay. I remember that. Yeah.
And,
I didn't know it moved to Netflix.
Yeah, so it's on Netflix now. And when I saw it, I was like, I was, having a sick in bed day. And I was like, I kind of like that show. And it's like such a soap opera. I'm like, I'm so sucked in.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm just like yelling at the TV. I'm treating it like it's a telenovela. I yell at it.
Right. It's the only way to watch.
I look at my husband and I'm like, can you believe what Deacon's doing right now? And he's over there. He looks up from his iPad like, that's fucked up.
That's great, honey.
That's right. And then the other thing that I did this morning, which is why I'm in actually a good mood.
Oh.
I watched the Wicked special.
Oh.
It aired on NBC last night, but only if you could watch it linearly or you had cable or whatever. But then it was streaming this morning. It started streaming on Peacock. So I got up, made myself a cup of tea, turned on the TV, and then just cried and smiled and sang and laughed. And I
We're ready.
cannot wait
Yeah, we're
for
ready.
Wicked for Good to come out so that we can talk about Wicked.
I'm sure it will, however, already come out probably by the time this airs.
By the time we get around to it,
on.
yeah, because it comes out on the 21st.
Yeah, so this will...
I believe. So, but we'll get to it, guys. Don't worry.
We're getting there.
Because Liza doesn't know what happened.
I know, and I'm avoiding spoilers as much as possible, so I have to go see it fairly quickly, or I know that it'll get spoiled for me.
Yep.
One of the only people who hasn't seen Wicked.
My husband hasn't. So I was like, you're coming with me to see the second one, right? And he's like, yeah, I need to know where this ends up.
Right. Where's this going?
What's going on?
What's happening?
I'm like, oh, you are going to be, and especially because from what I can tell, like I said last week or whenever, the book is one thing.
Yeah.
The Broadway show is another thing. The movie was another thing. So who knows how they're handling part 2?
Yeah.
Because part 2 of the Broadway show is fairly short. And also the one big complaint, anytime you talk to somebody who goes to see the show, they're like, the music in Act 1 is so much better than the music in Act 2.
Okay. Well, we'll see. But I'm going to go watch it, and then I'll read the book, and then we're going to do the podcast.
Okay. I'll have to reread the book. I'll have to put that on my list, because I read that when Caden was an infant. So
it's been a while.
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about TV shows.
TV shows. So yes, I too watched a tremendous amount of television. And this kind of, goes back to our Gen X, overstimulated and undersupervised. I don't think anybody was parents, and I'm not saying this. I mean, we shame them because that's fun. But they didn't know. Like, television was new. Like, my mother, was born before television was in people's houses. Right. So the whole idea that TV should be something that children are not exposed to was like, nobody even thought of it. They started to when you were little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they didn't even start having ratings on TV till far after I was already, in college, I guess?
Oh, yeah.
I was an adult.
I was well into adulthood when they were finally like, oh, this is for mature audiences.
Right.
I'm like, thanks.
And it was only Saturday morning that we had for sure kids television. Like, this was just for us, and that was why we loved Saturday morning. I mean, I think kids now don't understand what we're even talking about. That was the only TV that was just for us, and maybe holiday specials every once in a while.
Holiday specials, and then Sunday morning, if you were desperate for a fix, everything was religious. So you had Davy and Goliath. Yeah. I remember that, and there was some other weird, like, supposed to be like a kids variety show, but it really wasn't. And so Sunday sucked.
And that was also why we loved PBS. I would watch Sesame Street every morning before school.
Yep. Yeah. Sesame Street came out actually after I was born. So I was I was there from the beginning of Sesame Street, and I was the target audience. That's right. I love it.
It was revolutionary, honestly, especially on TV and in culture at the time.
So many ways. So So I watched a lot of TV, and I kind of broke my list because we don't ever coordinate how we're doing these lists.
We don't.
It's just
we just like to see how it goes.
We just want to see what we like.
See what we do.
What did you like? What did you hate? So I have mine organized into shows that were meant for kids. Okay. Shows that were probably not meant for kids.
Yeah, I kind of.
And wait, there's other categories. There's variety shows and talk shows, because
I have that.
When I was in the 70s, that was big. When I was
in the 70s.
Yeah,
I miss it. Honestly, we don't have enough of that right now.
No, and we don't do talk shows the same way. They do them still, like if you watch Graham Norton from the UK.
I love Graham Norton.
Because they do them right. They do them the way they used to do them.
Yeah.
Everybody who came on stayed on the couch.
Yeah.
So you would just get up and move down. Up and move down. And then if somebody was like uber famous and like a prima donna, they would do a thing where they would go on first, and then they would say, unfortunately, Cher can't stay with us because she's got to go do something really important, because she didn't want to sit on the couch and talk to the other producers.
That's right.
She didn't want to talk to the stupid comedian or the guy who brought the ferrets, But it's so much more fun when it's a chat show like they do in England, where everybody chats.
Yeah, they have huge variety shows in Japan. I missed it so much when we moved back. I'm like, why don't we have these? They're just so good. They're just so popular.
Yeah,
so
and they still
watch.
have them like on Telemundo and Univision.
Yeah.
I don't understand anything that's going on, but I love a variety show. Give me some music, give me a little skit, a comedian, a little banter, another dance.
I know. It's so fun to watch.
And then my last one was game shows, because game shows so important.
I kind of did the same thing in a way that you did. So I do have like that variety show, game show kind of stuff, and I had cartoons and Saturday morning stuff, and like network TV stuff, you know, primetime stuff. So I kind of broke it up the same way, similarly.
Yeah. Okay. So we look at that. We did. And so this sweatshirt is a Scooby-Doo sweatshirt. This sweatshirt is approximately 25 to 28 years old.
That's amazing. They don't make them
and
like that
it's from
anymore.
the Warner Brothers store, and my brother Buddy gave it to me. We used to do Secret Santa when all the kids were little, so that, you know, because we don't know what to get each other. And he got me a whole bunch of Scooby-Doo stuff, because we used to watch Scooby-Doo together. He's the one who introduced me to Scooby-Doo, because he was 2.5 years older than I was. Come on, Lisa, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this. No, ghosts. No, they're not real. Look, it's just them. It's just a guy.
Yeah, see, Scooby-Doo taught us that the real villains were just the people that you knew.
We're just rich old white men, generally.
Yeah, just people that you know. It's that dude we saw earlier.
Yeah.
That's right.
So how do you want to start? Do you want to start with like the cartoons and kids stuff, or?
Sure, and I think we probably have some overlap, and then some stuff
I'm
that...
positive we do.
And the thing is, there was a lot that I didn't put... that I know we probably, like, I used to watch a lot of stuff that came on in syndication on, like, TBS, like Scooby-Doo and The Brady Bunch and stuff like that. But I don't have it because it wasn't just on. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
However you want to go.
You watched it, so.
Yeah, I watched it.
You can chime in. So I have, I either slept in my crib until I was like 4, or I have really early memories of being like a toddler still in my crib.
Me too. Me too.
And I remember that my brother, who gave me this shirt, he used to, what I remember is him coming in my room in the morning when I was still, like, I was awake, but nobody was giving a crap that I was up yet. And he would come, like, waddling into my room, because he was a little bit, he was a little butterball when he was little. He was so cute. And he would come in and he would put on the TV. I was a child in a crib, and there was a TV in that room. It was like a little 9-inch black and white TV.
Yes, I had the black and white TV.
And he would come in and put it on for me.
And then had the bunny ears that you had to...
Yep. The show that I loved more than anything in the world as a little child was Magilla Gorilla. And there was this little girl who looked a lot like Pebbles from Pebbles and Bam Bam. And her name was OG. And all she ever said was, OG. I was obsessed with Magilla Gorilla. That is me. That I remember that.
Was Magilla Gorilla part of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons? Like,
yes.
Was it? Hanna-Barbera made so many good ones, but they were somehow all the same, but also it was like how Disney, they were all the same, but somehow different.
Yeah, but it's a dog, but now it's a gorilla.
Right. Same voice actors.
Do you remember like an early show that like imprinted on you?
That's the thing, though. I watched so much TV. Probably the earliest one from when I was that little is Looney Tunes. God, I love Looney Tunes.
It's on the top of my list.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's on the top of my Saturday morning list. I just loved Looney Tunes. And the funniest thing about that is Looney Tunes is way before either of us, too. Way before. So it's way older than
they used to play before movies. Like, they weren't on television.
Right.
Those were the cartoons that played before the movies, when you had a newsreel, cartoons,
and they weren't for
kids.
Feature. They were for adults. Those and so much. This sounds so stupid, but so much of the reason why I was smart back when I was little was because of Looney Tunes. I knew so much like history and adult things, and because of Looney Tunes. And my brother and sister, who did not watch TV, didn't know that stuff.
Really?
Stuff.
How did they not watch television?
They were the outdoorsy kids. They went outside. They played out. They did things. I sat and watched TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I love Looney Tunes. I loved Daffy Duck.
I was just gonna say that.
Daffy was my favorite.
Daffy. Do you know the one where he's trying to outdo Bugs Bunny and they're on stage, and then he finally does this trick where he like swallows gasoline and like gunpowder and a bunch of other stuff, and then he drops a match in his mouth and he explodes and he floats up to heaven essentially. Yeah. And he goes, "The problem with this trick is you can only do it once."
We actually have, my dad bought in the early 80s one of those enormous video cameras, like the kind you had to, you literally had to put the big VHS tape in the camera, you know what I mean? It's huge. And so we have a few videos from back when I was a kid, not a lot. And there's one from when I was maybe 2 years old, toddling around, diapers, and I'm just carrying on to myself about Daffy Duck. Who knows what I'm saying, but it's just all about I'm having a whole conversation about Daffy Duck. He's like, what? I'm like, it's Daffy Duck.
No, we just really related to Daffy because Daffy really was always irritated.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
yeah, mad. And Bugs was always kind of bullying Daffy a little bit. Bugs Bunny was actually kind of a bully.
Well, he was just a jerk, right?
Yeah.
He was kind of an ass.
Yep. Yeah, but we loved him, but he was kind of an ass. So along those same lines of things that predated us was the Little Rascals. Yeah. Our gang, the Little Rascals. That stuff was made in the 30s.
I know. And even I remember Three Stooges. That stuff used to all come on still when we were little. A lot of that came on.
I hated the Three Stooges.
It came on a lot of that stuff.
That didn't work for me. But yeah, I mean, I loved the Little Rascals and Alfalfa and Spanky and Darlin the Gang. I know that I do understand that there are some glaringly horrible things and that is why we no longer air the Little Rascals. Right. There was a tremendous amount of racism.
All right.
Just a lot of really bad stereotypes. But as a kid, I didn't know that. I just thought it was funny.
So I loved like Fraggle Rock, and I watched Fraggle Rock and Garfield and I have the same thing twice. Sorry. Garfield, Rainbow Bright, Care Bears, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and the Muppet Babies. All those were like Saturday morning for me.
See, that was like, it's so funny because remember we're the two ends of the Gen X spectrum. Mm-hmm. So the beginning, she's the coming to fruition, all of the good things.
That's right.
Yes, the good things about Gen X. So my Saturday morning was when they used to do Sid and Marty Krofft kind of ruled Saturday morning on ABC. Yep. And they used to do, and every year around September, my husband and I both go, you remember? Because they used to do a thing right at the beginning of the school season on a Friday night. There was a Sid and Marty Krofft special, and it would show like all of the new shows that were going to be on for those like 3 hours or whatever it was on Saturday morning. And there would be like special performances, and it was like so exciting. So there were a lot of like crap shows that came out of that, but I mean, Land of the Lost, yeah. The Sleestack scared the shit out of me, except for the one that was my brother and sister
loved Land of the Lost.
Yeah. He was Sleestack from the future. There was this really crappy girl power superhero show that they did called Electra Woman and Dyna Girl.
I have never heard of that.
It was so stupid. So that there was a musical group that wasn't a show, but they used to do in between the show musical numbers called Captain Cool and the Kongs. I thought he was the best thing ever. And what was the other? There was another show. So yeah, there was another one that they did called, I think it was just called Isis. I don't remember the plot at all, except that the woman would turn into the goddess Isis and then fight the bad guys. And she would go like, "Oh, mighty Isis!" And then all of a sudden, she'd turn into an Egyptian woman.
So this is all brand new
a white woman with an Egyptian wig.
Of course, right.
I just thought that was so cool.
That's
You had better stuff.
Well, we had a lot of cartoons, like a lot of big cartoons. Fraggle Rock was awesome. I still love Fraggle Rock. I mean, look at that. You had Strawberry Shortcake, Care Bear. Your list is like what remains. Bright, all that. My list, other than like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, people are like, what now? Well, they didn't think kids needed that much TV. But what came out when I was little and was the biggest thing, and if you haven't, understood by now, you should, how much it shaped me, was Pee-wee's Playhouse. how much that shaped who I am and who I became and what my whole entire career is was Paul Rubens. And I love that man so much. And I, that show changed everything about kids entertainment.
Yeah.
So it really, really.
It made it, I feel like it made it smarter.
And it made it where, hey, kids don't just have to watch this one thing. It's not just this one type of thing. Kids like funny and weird and goofy and crazy and stuff that the parents go, what's happening? Yeah. Yeah. And so, a lot more like that started. I don't think we would have stuff like SpongeBob had we not had Pee-wee,
I agree.
So.
That's a good point.
I love Pee-wee.
Yeah. So you mentioned, PBS. So I was that, like I said, so Sesame Street.
Yeah.
I
love Sesame Street.
Remember watching that from my earliest days.
Me too.
And then there was Electric Company, which I didn't like as much as Sesame Street because it was like different. But Morgan Freeman.
I know.
It's like I realized I grew up like as a little kid watching Morgan Freeman.
That's right.
Teaching me my alphabet and like stuff on Electric Company. Electric Company was a little more cool and radical, and Sesame Street was a little more like hang out with your parents on the stoop.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Rogers.
Oh my goodness. Mr. Rogers. I love Mr. Although Mr. Rogers was so good and also scary as shit when he would bring out those puppets were scary. Those
Lady
puppets
Elaine
were so bad.
Lady Elaine Fairchild.
Who made that? I loved Fred Rogers, but Lord, those
puppets were hideous. They were very much like the old Punch and Judy
puppets. Yeah, they were.
Like,
that's what it was,
way,
I guess.
From like the Renaissance and like Middle Ages.
Right.
Like let's not make puppets like that anymore because they're terrifying. I mean, Lady Elaine Fairchild looks like she's been burnt.
Correct, she does.
Looks like you pulled her out of a fire. Even her hair is all like looks singed. And then there was one that was like a little animal. Was it a tiger?
Yeah, that's where Daniel Tiger came from.
That's where Daniel Tiger came from. Well, he's much cuter in his later iterations.
Yeah. Well, that was his dad, right? King.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. So.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's where Daniel Tiger came from. That made him much cuter in that, but.
Yeah.
I love Mr. Rogers.
And when they used to go to the little land of make believe, they'd get the little trolley.
Train. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It would have overlapped for us where we both probably watched the Flintstones and the Jetsons.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So I loved the Flintstones and loved the Jetsons.
Loved the Flintstones, loved the Jetsons.
The Jetsons didn't really pan out the way I thought it was gonna. We didn't end up with all that cool stuff.
Didn't end up with any of that. Where the hell is Rosie? I need a chair that just.
We got Alexa instead. And it's not the same,
Oh no.
Roomba
is not a Rosie.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
No.
And then there were some shows. So you said, like, I know you broke yours into network. So there were some shows. Ooh, okay, there's the words. That were on network television, but I feel like they were intended for like a family audience.
Oh yes, yeah.
I think some of these nighttime shows were okay. Kids probably shouldn't watch them alone. This is family viewing.
Okay,
these are things that were on at 8:00, right?
Right.
So the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew mysteries, those were on like Sunday nights. Sean Cassidy. And then Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, I hated Little House on the Prairie. My sister loved Little House. I mean, like, so I have seen so much Little House, and I just hated it.
I loved it, and then as I got older, they
did.
started to annoy me.
Ugh, I just didn't like that show.
I don't know what happened there.
I still can hear that song come on, and I'm like, ugh.
But the weird, funny, best thing for me was the two actresses' names were Melissa.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, that never, that was like, a big thing for me. The Bionic Woman and the $6 Million Man. Mm-hmm. I had a Bionic Woman doll. My brother had the $6 Million Man doll. We used to go on adventures together.
And what happened to that doll, Melissa? Where is it?
My mom threw it in a dumpster with everything else when she sold the house. She didn't even ask us. She just had somebody throw all our shit in a dumpster.
Yep, I feel that. I feel the same. I know.
I'm not bitter at all. I don't miss my ballerina Barbie or my Bionic Woman or my Charlie's Angels van or any of that shit. Wonder Woman. Did I say Wonder Woman?
You haven't said Wonder Woman. So the Bionic Man.
Yeah, the Bionic Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a great show.
Yeah,
that was a really good show. So and then on Sunday nights they did the Wonderful World of Disney.
Yes, yes, it was so fun. That was like one of the few times where we could watch Disney for free. Know? Like Disney would come on, and so I.
And we only watched that when we were at my dad's house, my grandpa's house. I don't know why we didn't watch it. I think at night in my house, the television became for the adults,
right?
And so like if Mannix was on or Gunsmoke or The Rock,
God.
that's what
in
Grandpa
my house,
was watching.
It was always
that was it.
The news or sports.
Yeah. So I only got to watch Wonderful. I think probably did that air at because it used to be Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Yeah.
And then after that, The Wonderful World of Disney came on. But I'm wondering if 60 Minutes was on another channel.
Probably.
And then my grandparents were watching 60 Minutes, and that's why I wasn't watching Wonderful World of Disney.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened there.
So when I was little, we had a whole bunch of huge sitcoms come out that I absolutely freaking loved. Things like The Cosby Show, Who's the Boss? Alf came out when I was really little.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of funny stuff about Alf lately that is very strange. Did you know that the person who created him pretended he was real, and that's why Alf went off the air, because they couldn't work under the conditions of him like they had to build underground sets so people wouldn't see him puppeteering him. And he wouldn't do anything where people could see him puppeteering him, and they had to pretend Alf was real, and that's why it was just too hard to do. He went off the air.
I could see that happening. Yeah, that sounds like that would be difficult.
But I loved Alf as a little kid. That was so fun. Yeah. Punky Brewster and Different Strokes was in my era.
You had such good stuff.
Yeah. So
you had Facts of Life, didn't you?
Facts of Life was the next one. I love Facts of Life. And I had Designing Women. Being from the South,
as a
Designing
child,
Women.
You had Designing Women.
I had I had Julia Sugarbaker telling me all these feminist rants as a child. Yes. And The Jeffersons and Cheers and Night Court. I also had things I probably shouldn't have been watching at that age, like The Golden Girls and Married with Children.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, that was a little adult for me back then, but I loved it. I had Family Man. Like they started TGIF when I was little. Thank God it's Friday. And it was this block of shows like Full House and Family Matters and Perfect Strangers.
Oh my God, I used to love that stupid show.
I loved that. That was what started TGIF. And Dinosaurs. Do you remember Dinosaurs?
Oh, yes. Where they were. Yeah, there was the big.
Puppets.
Okay, yeah.
Animatronics and puppets. That was the baby, not the mama dinosaur.
Yeah. I just remembered one I forgot.
These were big in my life.
Aw, that's you see you did have much better TV. We had there was Norman Lear ascendancy happened in the 70s, and so remember this, like the early 70s especially, we were reeling. Vietnam War, civil rights, voting act, women's liberation, sexual revolution,
right?
And Norman Lear did such amazing television, and that was All in the Family is where that started.
Okay.
And and then The Jeffersons, which is a spin-off of All in the Family.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed that I was allowed to watch All in the Family. But again, like I said, I don't think anybody thought that there was any reason to shield us from that. But I also feel like it gave me a really good understanding of where different people were at.
That's right.
On these things. It was both. You got both sides. You got all the sides.
You did.
And
that show was quite something.
It was.
It was actually, I think, kind of hard or difficult for a lot of people to comprehend what they were doing on that show and why that character was that way and why they were writing those things and who you were supposed to be really
who am I rooting for? Am I rooting for the meathead or Archie in these arguments?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot going on.
Yeah. It was very representative of the kind of generational and racial and gender arguments that people were having in their homes.
That's right.
And then the Jeffersons did this amazing thing of showing this black family that, he came from nothing, just like Archie, had like a frenemies kind of thing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if either one of them, and they showed that too, if either one of them needed the other, like, look, we're neighbors. And if one of us is in need, we're going to be there for each other, despite the fact that I call him all kinds of racist names. He calls me racist names. Mm-hmm. They used they didn't use the N-word. They used pretty much
it was close thing. It was bad. It was a lot.
If you watch it now, you'll be horrified. If you have never seen it.
It's hard when you,
And then the Jeffersons was a little bit more funny, but what they did was they showed this family that built themselves up became so successful that they're moving on up to the Upper East Side, baby. XOXO. Gossip Girl. Mm-hmm. And they went to live in a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that show.
So, but another show I probably should not have been watching was MASH.
And God, the most depressing. Ugh. That one was on par with like Little House for me because it was being watched a lot in my house and it'd come on and I was just like, no.
I loved it.
So
even
depressing.
As a little kid, I loved MASH. I think I think a lot of these shows.
You were probably
I look back
smarter
now
than I was.
But I just think it really. That's where a lot of my social education came from.
Of course,
was from these amazing shows on television because MASH takes place in the Korean War, but it's entirely a commentary on the Vietnam War. And then, okay, are you ready? I know you love her. Everybody loves her. Mary Tyler Moore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Loved Mary Tyler Moore. And that was part of that Saturday night of Sunday night of television for me. It would be like All in the Family, The Jeffersons, Mary Tyler Moore. And it wasn't until I became an adult. I own the entire Mary Tyler Moore series.
Do you really? God,
yes, I love it.
Those beautiful women ever. Just stunning.
Oh, and just when you look back, you're like, about how groundbreaking that show was without being overtly subversive. It is now very clear to me as an adult that Mary was having sex with those men.
Sure. Of course.
Like, as a kid, because they didn't really, but I'm like, this was a woman who was focused on her career. She made her own way. She went to this other city, she works her way up from the bottom, and also she likes sex and she has sex, but she's not getting married.
That was not happening on TV a lot back then.
No. And then her friend Rhoda, we got Rhoda, and then Rhoda went to New York, and we got a different perspective on that. Yeah, love that show.
There were a lot of good shows that came, but there was something now that I'm like lost the name of because I wasn't watching them as much, but it came out around the same time as All in the Family, and there was a bunch of shows that came out.
Yeah.
They all have the same like 70s vibes. God, what was it? It had Valerie Bertinelli and...
Oh, One Day at a Time.
One Day at a Time.
I forgot that one. I think that's Norman Lear as well.
All this group of shows that were very similar.
That was another one. I mean, Anne Romano was the feminist's feminist.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes she pissed me off.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, why are you just making a big thing out of everything? What a show. Mm-hmm. What a show. A single mom raising two daughters in the 70s.
Before Reba.
Yeah, she's divorced. There are so many things that happened in that show that were just so good. And then there's the one, there's another one that's kind of like MASH that I never should have been watching. Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah, and I only saw
Prisoners of War in Germany in World War II.
Yeah. I loved Hogan's Heroes when I was like pregnant because it was coming on every single morning and I'd just be sitting there just pregnant and sick. I watched every episode of Hogan's Heroes. I don't remember watching it as a kid. I don't think it came on where I lived.
Maybe not.
I watched every single episode.
But I watched it, and I loved Bob Crane.
That show.
Title characters played by Bob Crane.
Yep.
But while I was still little, and I remember this because in my room that I was in when I was little, it was actually our front porch that they kind of put some walls up and did not insulate. But anyway. And my grandfather, who was a carpenter, built me like this little dresser, and it had like 4 drawers, and it had a closet in it because the room didn't have a closet because it was a porch. So it had this little girl-sized closet.
Yeah.
You're like, what does this have to do with Hogan's Heroes? So Bob Crane, who starred in Hogan's Heroes, died.
Okay.
And he died from autoerotic asphyxiation. And this was a big to do.
Well.
And it turned out like he was into bondage. And they're talking about leather and whips and masks, and then they're talking about autoerotic asphyxiation on the freaking news.
This is news to me right now.
There was something about him being in a closet, and I don't mean like he was gay and he came out of the closet. I think maybe he was in a closet when they found him or something with a plastic bag on whatever. And I remember so clearly going in my room and looking at the little closet and thinking, would I fit in there?
Like story. Melissa.
Do you think, and this is the thing that I thought about so many times in this last week as I was working up some of these lists. Shit happened on these TV shows that adults were watching while I was watching, or things happened on the news. Then I'm going to give you another example. Chico and the Man. Another show with questionable.
I don't remember that show.
So, you wouldn't. Chico and the Man is about a guy who owns like a repair shop, but it's kind of like Sanford and Son's garage. Like it's a hot mess. And this young Puerto Rican guy ends up working there. So that's Chico. And the man is this old crotchety white man.
Man, I don't remember that one.
Okay. So Freddie Prinze was Chico.
Yeah.
And he was a hot...
Okay. That...
Freddie Prinze.
That makes sense. Yeah, I remember. I do know what you're talking about.
Loved Freddie Prinze. So one day... Freddie Prinze unalives himself with a gun. And it's on the news. And I'm in second grade, and I know this because my one friend from second grade called me on the telephone to tell me, oh my God, Chico died. And then, and she's telling me, they said he shot himself with a gun. So we're in second grade. We're both like, what a horrible accident.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the news, it's on the news. Again, adults all around me. They know I love him. I watched the show. No one, not a single adult around me ever talked to me about it. I cried. I was confused. I came to understand that he intentionally shot himself in the head with a gun, and no one talked to me about it.
Of course not. They didn't care. Oh my God, they didn't care what we were watching. At all.
Could you imagine, like, today? I mean,
I can still remember I can very clearly. I can still remember going to my mom for the first time and going, Mom, what's a hoe? Because Eddie Murphy was saying it on Saturday Night Live. She was like, what?
And why are you watching Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, no one ever asked that either. So little.
Carol Burnett show.
Yes, I love Carol Burnett. And I mean love. I would die if someone gave me the whole set because, God, I love Carol Burnett.
Oh,
again, another show we don't have anything like that now. There's just nothing like that now.
And if you've never seen it, go look it up. I'm sure you can find it, clips on YouTube. It was some of the smartest, funniest, and they could not... I mean, the amount of times that Tim Conway...
character.
What was the other guy? Oh, God, my brain is not
Harvey?
working today. Harvey Korman and Tim Conway. They used to crack each other up, and Tim Conway would do it on
Tim
purpose.
Conway would crack Harvey up. You could hear him off stage just bellowing. He wasn't even on stage because of something that Tim had done.
Or then he'd be standing there doing the Benny Hill, like blinking really hard and trying not to
when they brought, and the thing was, Vicki Lawrence was like 20 years old, 19 or 20 years old when they brought her on. And they played Mama, and she would say stuff that would crack Carol up, and you couldn't crack Carol up. And she would have her just die. Like, oh my God, that show was so funny.
Some of the
I love
best
that so much.
Comedic performers ever were on the Carol Burnett show. And then when they would have guest stars on, I mean, it would be, they would, some of them would be great. It's just, I love the Carol Burnett show.
And so then I did also then love Mama's Family that came out. That was really popular in the South where I lived. It was
I think it was popular everywhere. I mean, we just loved that character of Mama and Eunice. And
Eunice. I still say that. I don't think my daughter's ever seen any of these shows ever, but there'll just be random things to do, and I'll go, Eunice. She's like, what? Why are you saying that?
I love that show so much. Oh my gosh, those were such great characters.
Yep. Okay.
Love Boat and Fantasy Island. Those were on when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Very, very young child. no supervision, just watching
been
people
watching
hook up
that,
on the
Melissa.
Love Boat.
On the
And then-
Love Boat.
Love Boat. We just recently, Bill and I, over lockdown, we started we watched like 3 seasons of the Love Boat.
I heard a lot of people did that.
Oh my god, it was so bad but so good. And then
Yeah.
Fantasy Island was like, what the hell even was that show?
Stuff you shouldn't have been watching, though.
No. But then I don't want to leave out, obviously, Star Trek was hugely formative for me.
Okay.
And then Battlestar Galactica
Yep.
in the 80s was,
So
I guess it was late 70s. Yeah.
if we're talking about sci-fi, I also really loved Quantum Leap. Did you watch that show?
I watched it, but I wasn't a kid.
I loved it. I loved
a
it
good
so
show.
much. Ugh. And MacGyver came on when I was little as well.
MacGyver, yeah. See, you think you had such good stuff.
Good TV.
We had the Rockford Files. We had Quincy. We had all of these men that were a little bit past their prime, is what we had. I don't know what was going on with that. Like, and then the other thing, so Rockford Files, Quincy, Chips
Yep.
became
Chips.
a big thing as I was starting to age out into. I was like a tween.
Yeah. My
everybody
brother
was
and
in love with
sister,
Eric
my older
Estrada.
brother and sister loved Chips. That's what they were doing outside when I was watching TV, was playing Chips, you know. Fighting
We
over
used
who
to
got
play
to be
Charlie's
who.
Angels. Mm-hmm. And I loved Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another one. Welcome Back, Cotter.
See, that was part of those shows as well, right? Welcome Back, Kotter. That was like
It was on that was, there was, and Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days.
Oh, I love Laverne and Shirley. Happy Days.
It's not on anywhere anymore.
I mean, I loved Laverne and Shirley.
Yes.
I liked Happy Days, but I loved Laverne and Shirley.
Loved Laverne and Shirley, because Laverne and Shirley was about the girls.
Yes.
Happy Days is about the boys.
Yeah.
Let's not even kid ourselves. We get Joni and Chachi later on, but
Eh.
it was a show. But there you go. You've got two women living alone. It's
Right,
a story
living
about
alone
them.
in the
We're
city.
gonna do it. We're gonna make it.
And
So
they
positive.
they had like they were dating a bunch of different dudes and all sorts of stuff. They were working.
Laverne was definitely made out to be a fast girl,
Yeah, sure.
and Shirley was more of a prude.
Yeah. Oh God, it was so funny though. I loved that show.
Funny, yeah. Lenny and Squiggy were there. Oh my god.
They were there, and it's so, to this day I can hear their either one of their voices anytime. I'm like, oh, that's Squiggy.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't
Hello,
matter
Laverne.
who it is, like what he's in. I can hear it in a cartoon if he's. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah. Oh my god. So
since
much
my
good
name
stuff.
is, I need to get like L shirts.
You need an L.
I need an L sweater.
Yeah.
Why have I
And
never
guys,
had
that's
one?
where the milk and Pepsi came from.
Right?
They
Gross.
drank milk and Pepsi.
Well, Laverne did. I think
Laverne
Shirley
did.
thought that was gross, right? But yeah,
I thought they both. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But yeah, that's where that came
Blech.
from. It's nasty, by the way. Oh, the other one I forgot. Taxi.
Okay. Yeah. I
Taxi
never
was a
watched Taxi.
very adult show.
Yeah, that was what I
Very,
wasn't
very
watching.
adult things going on Taxi. But I totally
Yeah.
watched that unsupervised too.
Yeah. Well, that's probably kind of falls into like where Cheers and Night Court and stuff like and Golden
Yeah.
Girls was for me. Like that
Yep.
was there was a lot of stuff going on in those shows I shouldn't have been watching as a little
Yeah.
kid, but
Yeah, especially
that's
Night
anyway.
Court. Night Court was a great show.
it was a great. Well, all the Golden Girls was about sex and nothing but sex the whole time. So, I mean, I learned a lot.
We did.
But I also was watching back then. You were talking about variety shows. Like American Gladiators came out when I was a little kid.
Oh, you are so blessed.
Yes.
I watched
and
it
I-
even though I was like in high school and college. I loved
Yeah,
that
and
show.
I love stuff like Unsolved Mysteries. We talked about that in our Overexposed
yeah.
episode. I watched all of that, and it was so scary because it was real, and they were like, guess
Yeah.
what horrible thing happened to this person that we don't know who did it. You know?
There was the
And-
early true crime obsession starts
Right.
with Unsolved Mysteries as a child.
And America's Funniest Home Videos came out when I was little.
I forgot. Yes.
And I am convinced 100% that we would not have YouTube, so I would not have a career had it not been for America's Funniest Home Videos.
I agree completely.
So I guess you could maybe say Candid Camera started it, but that was still network.
Candid Camera. I forgot
Yeah.
that. That was such a great part of my childhood.
That was more network set
Yeah.
up things, but
Yeah.
America's Funniest Home Videos, we started wanting to see real people do funny things in their homes. We
Yep.
started wanting to
Yeah.
watch actual videos from people, and I
Yep.
think that's where YouTube came from.
I think you are absolutely right. That was look at you're right. That's true. On the variety show type stuff, so Donnie and Marie is probably the one that brought me the most joy. And for reasons I will never understand, the opening number was always done by like the ice, like they were on ice skates.
It made sense to them, I guess.
Was it because they're from Utah? I don't know, but it was just a very. But I loved that show. It was an enjoyable part of my. I remember it's on Friday nights. I used to make myself a little thing of popcorn in the kitchen, and then I would sit there in the kitchen because we weren't allowed to eat outside the kitchen, which was probably wise. And I would watch on the black and white TV with my little bowl of popcorn. Yeah, Dottie and Marie. And then there were talk shows on during the day, and the one that I really liked, there were a lot of them. The one that I really liked was Mike Douglas. He was a nice man. I don't remember
that at all.
Oh, it's old. I'm talking early 70s. It was old. Like Burt Reynolds was a frequent guest. You know,
well,
talking about his Cosmo.
Well, then. Oh my God, my brother does estate sales. That's what he does here where we live. And he recently did a house where they had the full Burt Reynolds, full Playgirl, like, framed. And I was like, wow.
Okay. I have that in all of my mother's things, all the time she moved, a million things. And there's this little box.
So she threw your stuff away, but not Melissa, that, though.
At the bottom of it is the Cosmo with Burt Reynolds in it. Shocked the shit out of me.
Wow.
What a gift. What a gift.
That is she didn't keep your dolls, but you got that, so.
Someday I'll do like a mini episode where I read you some of the stuff from that Cosmopolitan.
Someday we need to do that right now.
Like the letters, you know how people used to like ask questions?
Oh, we need to do that. I'm ready. We're doing a side quest ASAP. That's going
Cosmopolitan.
on. Oh, I'm so ready for that.
Mm.
I love it. We need to do that.
We have to do that.
Did you watch the Muppet Show, like the big variety show?
I did, but I was older.
I loved it. It came on in the 70s.
What did it really?
Yeah, it started in the 70s. It was only syndicated into the 80s. So it came on in the 70s.
I watched it.
I loved it. I have the whole like DVD set of all the seasons.
I watched it, but I don't think like and I feel bad saying it's not like a formative, oh my God, I loved it. Like
I watched that show.
I
love the Muppets.
Yeah. I mean, the Muppets are awesome. Love me a good Muppet.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I liked it. I don't know. I don't remember it very well. There's like segments I remember. I know I loved Miss Piggy.
Who doesn't love Miss Piggy?
Obsessed with her. Okay, game shows.
So I was obsessed with like The Price is Right. Like I could guess The Price is Right every time. I knew that. I would have won so many refrigerators back then when I was little.
Oh my God. Totally. Yeah. The show I hated was Let's Make a Deal because I didn't like when people got like a donkey or something.
Yeah. I loved game shows. Like that. Yeah. That was just as much fun as watching cartoons back then, was watching game shows.
Oh my God. We had such good shows. You had The Price is Right. It's on the top of my list. Let's Make a Deal, which I said I don't. I watched it. Monty Hall. Big fan. But I used to get really sad for people. Hollywood Squares.
Oh yeah.
And there's two shows that everyone is so obviously drunk and high all the time. It's the Hollywood Squares and Match Game. And to this day, Bill and I will still watch Match Game.
What was the show? It was something Dollar Pyramid. What was that show?
Oh, it's on here. Yes, it would go up in money. It was the $10,000.
$10,000 pyramid.
Then it was the $100,000.
Yeah, and they would have celebrities on that show as well. Oh, I love those
sometimes
shows.
they were so stupid.
Yes, that was what I was going to say. They would have celebrities and they would do so poorly, and those poor people who had to be across from them like, what?
Like, why did you pair me with this? Like, this person has no brain cells. Like, so Pyramid, Hollywood Squares, Match Game. Oh, and High Rollers. And I think I only liked that one because they got to throw big dice.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the reason why I liked Price is Right, because they played so many different games that were just bonkers. Like, so many different games. Yes. Like, I wanted to play those big, crazy games so badly.
Yes. Yeah. I think everybody wanted to play, like, Plinko. And,
the ones that had the celebrities on them as constant guests, they were always drunk or high or both.
Yeah. Well, I
and
think they
hitting
used to
on the
film,
women,
like,
especially in
5
the
episodes.
70s. Like, they were so skeevy and just hitting on the women. And
Yeah. And it would just devolve. It would just get worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd know, like, now you look at it and you go, oh, this was one of the last ones they filmed this day because
Sure.
their eyes are not even focusing.
Right. Right.
And there were some people who, after a time, I realized, I think those people were only famous because they were on game shows. Like, they never actually did anything.
Right. I mean,
Except
what were they
be on
doing?
game shows.
They're probably like our B-list now. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
guess,
like
yeah.
people who are B-list and do stuff like
People
that.
who
Like
go on
people who
Dancing
are
with
on
the
Dancing with the
Stars.
Stars. That's right. That's exactly who they were. It had to be.
Yeah. 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 I'd be like, who was that person? The Gong Show.
Yeah. The
That was
Gong
when
Show
I was
was- yeah.
little. Yeah, people. It was before. What's the one with the people they sing and Simon Cowell and Kelly Clarkson won it.
American Idol.
American Idol.
Yeah.
You guys are like, is Melissa okay? No, she's
I mean,
not
we're,
okay.
we're all right.
We're fine,
trying
but
our
no.
best.
It's really not okay in here
I
today.
know.
But on the Gong Show, people would get up. Now, sometimes they were kind of, performing, like, you'd be like, oh, that person can really sing. And then sometimes it would be like something stupid, like, watch me juggle tuna fish or, and then you would gong them. I mean, the humiliation, it's of a star, like of a famous person getting up and hitting the gong because you suck.
Well, the same thing would happen when you would have been older when they would do Showtime at the Apollo.
Yep.
And these people would just be screaming and they'd pull them off with like a big thing. Like, get the hell off the stage.
Yep. Oh my God.
You're awful.
Yeah.
Those shows were fun though.
Those were fun. Speaking of Showtime at the Apollo, American Bandstand. We just talked about American Bandstand and Soul Train.
Yeah. Oh, Soul Train. And there was a bunch of dance ones back then. I think I took
You
them
had
off, but there was
different ones. You got some better ones.
Well, that Soul Train was still on long after I was done
Bandstand was
watching
on
cartoons.
forever.
Yeah. So Soul Train went for ages.
Yeah.
And it was so funny to watch Soul Train. Like, I think I said this in that one episode that we did, that they were like in a nightclub, but the big lights were on and everybody was high.
Yeah. just everybody just had it. Soul Train looked like they were having more fun.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I just realized? How old was I when Solid Gold and Dance Fever came out?
That's what it was. It was Dance Fever. I couldn't think of the name of that.
I think
Solid
those
Gold
were
and
in
Dance
the
Fever.
late 70s.
Yeah, I couldn't think those. That's the ones I took off. I couldn't think of the names of, but that's what it
Dance
was.
Fever was another one where, some people could dance and some people could not.
Not everybody. Yeah.
No. And then Solid Gold, where these dancers would do these it was so, like, Solid Gold feels very 80s to me, but I think it might have started, like, in 1980, so I was a little older. Yeah. But, good times watching the TV. Good times.
Everybody coked up on the TV.
Oh, everybody. And everybody was, oh my God. The Love Boat, too. I mean.
Was it? I haven't rewatched The Love Boat. That's funny to think about.
They weren't while they were filming, but from what I understand, they had to keep things flowing in order to get all of those guest stars to, stand around and.
The only other things I have that we haven't talked about was something that would have come on. It was way past when you would have been done here, and it started coming on like like cable TV. So it was right when I was getting older too. It was stuff that was coming on Nickelodeon, like Double Dare. And so this is where, when we talked to Adam and he talks about getting slimed, this is where slimed comes from.
Yep.
Getting slimed. And that was like my dream as a kid. Oh, I just want to be slimed. Like, these kids are getting slimed.
I remember I've Double Dare. There were a couple of good Nickelodeon
shows like that. You can't do that on TV and things like that was coming on when I was little. And then Disney Channel started doing shows like the revival of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and that's where like Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and all these people came from. So many came from this show, and I was watching that, and Kids Incorporated was so cheesy.
Kids Incorporated. I don't even remember that.
That's where, I mean, do you remember Martika? who did Toy Soldiers in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She was on
that's
Kids
what she was
Incorporated, and Stacey Ferguson, Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas, started on Kids Incorporated. That's where they started all these. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Ryan Gosling was on one of these
shows.
shows.
Episode of that.
Have you? Because it was awful. It was just awful. But it was like Saved by the Bell level stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was what it was.
Was Saved by the Bell? Was that when you were little, or was that when you were a teenager?
Both. It was both.
Okay.
So it started when I was in the 80s, and I loved that show too.
Yeah.
I love Saved by the Bell. That was good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what I forgot to mention? I can't believe you didn't mention either. Doctor Who. Now you had to hunt for it because it was on PBS. Mm-hmm. And that would be usually somewhere on a Saturday afternoon.
Now, the only Doctor I ever saw was the fourth Doctor. I didn't even know there were other Doctors until I was an adult. So that was the only one I ever got back then.
That's all we saw too. It was almost like the other ones didn't exist.
Right. Where were they?
We're just gonna keep. Here you go. You like him. Everybody likes the scarf. Yeah. There you go. Mm-hmm. And there was. I just had a thought when we were talking about Doctor Who PBS. There used to be, so Saturday morning you would have the cartoons, and then you would do American Bandstand. So now we're transitioning to the older people, older like teens and stuff. So you get through Bandstand and stuff like that, and then Chiller Theater would happen, and Chiller Theater was the horror movies. On at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday.
I don't remember that at all.
And this
I don't think we had that
used
down
to
in the
come
South.
up. Wait, I have to try to do this. Okay, it was weird because it would just start, and there wasn't much of a title sequence or everything, and then just guy would go Chiller. And while that was happening, a hand would come up out of the ground, and it'd be all good until you realized there were 6 fingers, and for some reason. That freaked little Melissa out.
Well, of course it would.
Much.
Right after
and then
your
my
Saturday
brothers
morning
would laugh
cartoons.
I'm like, I just want to go watch Hong Kong Phooey.
Right.
And I want mommy.
So.
Why would they put that on at that time?
Because why not?
Yeah, I don't think we got that down. Where I was from was like the Farm Report,
Oh, okay.
We didn't have stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, in the Twilight Zone, but I don't remember how I was watching the Twilight Zone. I just know that I was watching it unsupervised, and it's very scary and creepy.
It is very scary. They came out with some really scary ones in the 80s, but I think that was movies, right?
That was the
Not
movies.
TV shows.
Yeah, there was they also did Tales from the Crypt movie. Which
God, talk about stuff I shouldn't have been watching. Ugh.
Yeah, no,
It's very scary.
no, absolutely not. Yeah, so I mean, we could go on forever. This was just making these lists was not hard.
No, it was a lot. It was hard.
Once you
it was
got
harder
going,
to pare it down. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I could keep going, but I didn't look up all the Norman Lear shows. I forgot Maude.
Oh, Maude! Oh my
Maude.
God! Well,
That's
that was
another
a
one I grew
spinoff
up with.
again.
That
That was another spinoff, right?
Of All in the Family. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and whew, you know,
God, I love Maude.
it almost feels like TV was more progressive in the 70s.
I think so. I agree with you. Because it's the very fact that those shows would still be considered progressive. That's right. 50 years
we
later,
still
it's
show
still
clips
progressive.
of Maude and designing women. Julia Sugarbaker has been, I've seen
Maude
lots
was
of her
in
on
her
TikTok.
50s. She was in her 50s planning on getting an abortion because she thought she was pregnant. That
Yep.
is very progressive now.
I know.
That was progressive back then, but it is progressive now. If that was on TV, it'd be like,
Yeah.
I don't know if we can show that on
so,
network TV.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of, in some ways, there was a little bit of a golden age in the 70s because of the Norman Lear type shows, because television was really pushing boundaries in ways they hadn't done before, and they were getting away with it. And then the moral majority started to happen, and now we would, now we have to fight to have conversations about abortion or birth control or anything. And I'm like,
Anything,
what's going on?
like anything at all. The funny thing is, I don't have nostalgia about childhood. I don't have any nostalgia, but I do have nostalgia about old TV. Right?
Oh,
I
I
do love all this old TV.
Yeah, well, I was just, when you said I don't have nostalgia about childhood, for a second I was confused, and then you said, but I do have. I was like, oh, okay, yes, because childhood.
I really about my own childhood.
Yeah.
I have no nostalgia about that.
But
But this
very,
TV,
very little. The TV, music, movies.
yeah,
That's how we got through it.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We've been talking now for
About an
over an
hour.
hour. See, you think we can't do an hour on Animal Crossing, honey?
I can, no, that's not what I said. I can talk for an hour about Animal Crossing. I don't know if anybody wants to hear me talk for an hour about Animal Crossing. At some point,
I
my
think they
daughter's
do.
eyes get like glazed over, like, Mom, let it go.
Okay, everybody in the comments, tell us now. Do you want us to do our Animal Crossing episode? Because I really want to do one. Now, I need to explain.
Me too.
Liza is so good and into Animal Crossing. And
I'm
she
into
got
it,
me,
baby.
You got me during the pandemic to play. So,
I'm into it.
All
Yes,
right,
we
so
are.
now chime in the comments, folks. Childhood television. We want to hear your favorites.
Yeah, and I know we got a lot of different generations, so tell us all the different stuff you guys watched.
Yeah, yep. And like, and also if there's any things that you're like, I can't believe I was allowed to watch that.
Most of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think as, like with your generation, it started where there was much more television designated for children. You got Nickelodeon, you got like a Disney, like you got that. We didn't have cable. So
Right. I didn't get cable till, that's what I said. It was not a lot. So probably to the 90s. So I was starting to get a little older. But yeah, when I was little, we didn't have cable.
No, I mean, we got cable when I was 13 and it was very limited. I think we just had HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's a whole big world. Now there's actual channels for children that 24 hours a day.
For better or worse, babe. Yeah. For better or worse.
Yep. Yeah. So Liza, where can they find us out there on the internet?
Yes, we are on YouTube, and we are also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you haven't gone over there. But please also check us out on Patreon because we're doing fun stuff over there. We are also on TikTok and Instagram, and we love hearing you guys come talk to us on those as well.
Yes, we do. We really appreciate it. And until we see you guys again next time,
stay unmasked and overstimulated.
love you guys. Bye.